Gentlemen, have you ever dated a woman and felt like she's unusually tough to handle? Like, no matter what you do, she's testing you, questioning everything, or seems overly guarded? Well, a lot of men don't realize this, but her behavior might trace back to her childhood, specifically growing up in a home with a dominant father. Today, we are diving deep into why this happens, the challenges you might face, and how to navigate it. Welcome to Things You Don't Really Learn in School. So, a dominant father is not just someone who disciplines, he is someone whose presence, decisions, and authority shapes the daughter's sense of trust, independence, and expectations in relationships. Psychologists call this the authoritarian father effect. And this was cited by Baumrind. Sorry, I'm confusing his name. Baumrind in 1991 in his publishing titled "Parenting Styles and Adolescent Development." So he also connotes the impacts of an authoritarian father or a dominant father in the daughter, of which these are three things that were highlighted by his publishing. Number one, such a lady or a daughter, of course, the daughter grows up to become a lady. Number one, she has high standards for men. So you find that they often expect partners to measure up to a father figure. And this happens especially when you are having when you're having a marriage, and as a man you are expected to lead. You realize most of the time you're being compared to the father. You'll hear conversations like, when I grew up, I saw my father do one, two, and three. I saw my father lead us. I saw my father tell us where we need to go, what we need to do. I saw my father decide how we need to eat, how as children, we need to be raised, and all that. So she's not open to your leadership, but she wants you to lead like the father because that's what she's used to. Number two, they have trust and independency and independence issues. They may struggle to rely on men, and this is normally seen especially when she needs help, because when she needs help, she'll be too proud to ask for help. She'll be too proud to even say when she has a problem. So, but she expects you to detect that she has a problem. So you'll hear like a statement like, "I've been going through this issue and you did not even bother to come and comfort me." So as a man, you are thrown in a place of confusion and you begin to ask yourself, like, when did she tell me that she was going through this issue? And then on the issue of independence, they like taking care of their own things. So, and because of that independence, she will not even ask you for any help or anything, but she takes care of herself. And then that independence on the flip side may turn out to be a reason to blame you as a man, because when she's run out of resources, she cannot even ask you for help. um, then she turns that into a blame that I am going through this because you did not do this. I am going through this and you're not concerned. I am going through this and you're not showing any effort. While all this time she has not communicated to you. So it makes you look confused. It makes you even doubt your leadership. It makes you feel like you're not being appreciated, because most of the time it's just blame and blame. But all this time, she's measuring you against the father, who is the yardstick in this situation. Number three is emotional guardedness. So, such a woman has a problem with expressing vulnerability, and so you don't expect her to tell you what she feels, but she will sometimes, or what I observed, because I was in such kind of a relationship, she holds her emotions, and then like for instance, what happened in my situation, um, I like we would go to bed to sleep, and then you find that she's just seated on the bed. And at that time, I realized that the lights are on. So I ask her, "What's the issue?" Then she's like, "You really don't care about what I'm going through." And then I'm like, "What do you mean? I thought we are supposed to sleep." And and then you hear a statement like, uh, "Do you think this relationship is heading in the right direction?" You get that? So, or I am not impressed by the things you did some other time. And then when you begin to talk to her, you realize she was just preparing to vent on you. So she's not even giving you time to talk. She begins to vent and vent and vent and vent and vent, bring out records of things that were done even 6 months or even 9 months ago. So all this other time when the issue happens, she does not address it at that moment, but she stores it. So you always you are always working on eggshells. You are always asking yourself, "Have I wronged her? Is this issue going to come up again?" And then also another thing that happens is that she instead of joy, she becomes a source of trouble, because every time you're caught up in a place whereby you have to keep analyzing and analyzing her emotions. You analyze her way of thinking, you analyze the way she's doing things, just to see if she's okay. So just think about the past relationships you may have had, and observe the lady that you had in your life. Was she distant? Was she controlling? Or was she constantly testing you? That might not be about you. It might be about what she learnt at home. So ladies from homes with dominant fathers, that's those are some of the three things that pop out, because I learned it from by experience. And then another thing you see is that the dominant father does not allow the daughter to be out of her reach. So as a man, it is hard for you to write your vision, to write the things maybe you're sensing God is putting in your heart, in her mind, because you will be constantly compared to the father. So you find that the father, like for instance, on the issue of education, the father has already told her, you need to go like do your masters and proceed even to PhD. So when a woman walks in, when such a lady walks into your program, I know number one thing as a man you'll be concerned is you'll be concerned about is the issue of finance and the home structure, just to see, are we able to support such things. So when you such courses, and so you what you end up realizing is that we need to have a plan, and let's put off like, let's say a good plan, like let's put our finances together, and then we can look at the issue of you advancing your education. But when you have such a woman, because the voice of the father is stronger than your voice, she will go ahead and do what the father has said. Like if it was a goal of the father, like by the age of 30 you must have accomplished your masters or your PhD or anything, that's what she will proceed with. And you sometimes you'll be told statements like, you are the hindrance to my progress. I would have gotten far without you, and you are insecure, you are threatened by my progress and all that. But in real sense, as a man, you are not threatened. You're just concerned about the structure of the home. So when you marry a lady from such a home, just know that the father will tell you that I've given my hand, like I've given my daughter away to marriage, but he's not really given her daughter. He's just allowed you to stay with her, but he has grip upon the daughter. And most times, especially in African settings, he will want also to control the son whom the daughter has been married to. So as a man, if you're not strong, and if you're not a bit stubborn, because you know the conviction that you carry in the direction that you will take as a family, you'll find that you submit to the authority of the father. And once you submit to the authority of the father, you forget your mission and your purpose, and you begin to live the expectations of the father. So, what are the common challenges experienced, especially with women from dominant father homes? I think I've talked about some, but here are some that we can look at. Number one, the lady will constantly test your boundaries, and this will stem from a lifetime of having to justify choices. Like, you have to explain why you have set boundaries. If, for instance, you tell her, sometimes as a man, you want to give instructions and not be questioned about it. Like, let's say, for instance, in this house, I don't want us to be gossiping about people. Don't be bringing stories about other people. Like, that's a good example, because you don't want your home to be a place whereby you don't have you don't have conversations that build. And then for her, she would want to know, why don't you want us to talk about that issue? Hmm? Why don't you have to tell me a reason why. You get? Why do you need a reason for such a thing? Not unless you enjoy, not unless such a lady enjoys doing such things, and that is what she does, maybe when she's at work or maybe when she's at school. When you try to promote good morals and values at home, she would want to know why. Like, you have to justify every decision that you give. That's one sign of a woman who's coming from an authoritarian, from a home with a dominant or an authoritative father. Number two, uh, she will create or present a fear of submission or dependence to you. So this creates friction in partnerships. So you'll find that she challenges your leadership most of the time. She wouldn't want to depend on you. Sometimes, as a man, the confidence that you have. Like, you tell her, I got this. Let's go this direction. I know things will work out well, especially if you are led by God, you are led by the Holy Spirit in terms of setting the vision of the home and all that. But she will constantly challenge you and make you look like you are faulty. And I know I've heard of so many men, especially around my circle, who have been told things like, for instance, they are men of faith, and they say, like, I feel God is leading me to do this and the other. As a family, we need to pursue this direction. Then the woman will come and tell you, are you sure you had God? Those are just your own feelings and your own thoughts and ideas. God did not tell me that. Or she will come and say that God told me this, so you are the one on the wrong. So the God who spoke to her is the God who is right. And basically, this happens when God gives an instruction that does not agree with her emotion and and her feelings. And then that puts a man in a place whereby you begin to doubt your leadership. You begin to doubt even that you had God. And such a woman is always craving to occupy the space of your life so that she takes the place of control. Basically, typically a spirit that we like calling this the spirit of Jezebel, because it always topples leadership. Number three, it's comparison to the father figure. So she will try to force you to comply to the invisible standard that her dad had set. So every time you'll be compared to the father. Oh, you're not doing like you're not doing this like my father. You're not leading us like my father. Where I come from, we used to put food together on the table and we sit together and eat by this time. My father used to ensure that we've prayed together. My father used to ensure this. My father used to take care of this. My father. And my cue at that time, um at that time, she doesn't know that she's trying to diminish you, or trying to diminish your confidence. So for her, she's just operating by the fact that I think this is a man that needs to is not a I or rather, I'd say this: she thinks that she did not choose a better man who is like the father. But the truth is this: the only man who can look like her father is her father. It's only the father who can play that role. That was just his uniqueness. And maybe he also learned from other places. Maybe even the father used to be domineering and all that, and it's a quality that he picked from his father as well. So living with such a woman, sometimes it can really be draining, emotionally draining. And there are places where you will get that you'll decide that you don't even want to do things together, like putting finances together, and you just allow her to do her own things while you take care of your own things. Because I'll tell you from experience, they are very combative and very stubborn. Number four, difficulty with emotional intimacy. So daughters of dominant fathers may struggle to express needs. This is according to Lamb, who published Lamb, which published an article called "The Role of the Father in Child Development" in 2010. So yes, they struggle. I agree. They struggle to express their needs. They can't communicate effectively without throwing tantrums like children, because you know of the domineering father was always checking up on her, making her feel like a baby who needs to be taken care of more, like all the time. So you find that she can't express her feelings well. You'll always have communication issues, like she's maybe, and most of the time they tend to be very sarcastic. They are very sarcastic, so they are telling you this issue using another issue, so it's for you to figure out what she's saying. And sometimes she can mock you, by the way, sarcastically mock you. Like for instance, you'll hear a statement like, uh like for instance, so you are not taking us out, and then as a man you are asking yourself, when did we agree that you are going to go out in this time? Instead of somebody who's communicating clearly, like she's supposed to come and tell you, babe, can we plan for us going out? But now the fact that she's saying that you have not taken us out, you are left thinking, did I say anywhere that we need to go out? Those are two different styles of communication, and a sarcastic communicator always irritates irritates to the core. So let's look at why these things happen. I'm sorry, I know my English is not so fluent, and sometimes I'm breaking, but just understand me. I'm trying I'm thinking about a lot of scenarios, because I have a lot of scenarios in my head, and I'm trying to pick which one to say and what not to say. So let's look at why this happens. And we shall look at part one, which is the psychological roots. Um, Children model relationships based on what they see. Children model relationships based on what they see. Like father, like son, like mother, like daughter. I think that doesn't need explanation. There's also emotional lessons, which is part two. Over controlling teaches caution in relationship. So when you marry a lady from a domineering father home, uh, she's very cautious of what she says. She's very cautious of how she interacts with you. She's very cautious. She's overly cautious. There's that being extra cautious, that you are even concerned about how you're breathing. And somebody who is overly cautious tends to be very controlling, by the way. Number three is the social impact, or caused by growing up in a domineering in a home with a domineering father. um, the social impact is that, number one, it causes independence. We've talked about that, and overachievement, and cautious romantic choices. So when we look at the issue of overachievement, most of the time she wants to ensure that she's better than somebody, or better than any other. It could be even competing with you. You will have scenarios whereby, maybe as a man you've been saving money a lot, and then one day, when you're having a money talk in the house, and you're discussing the issue of finances, she looks at how much she saves against what you save, and you'll hear her make a statement like, "Why is it that you're saving more money than me? Why am I the one that I tend to use money a lot?" So that becomes an issue. So now, it looks like a light statement, but in real sense, it brings in a sense of competition. So you'll notice that she begins to hoard her money to save it, so that at least she competes and be at par with you. When she goes to work, she also competes with colleagues, in order to get a position. She's constantly driven with overachievement. She wants the next papers. From the next paper, she wants to move out of the country. From moving out of the country, she wants to dress better than other ladies. She wants to put up the most expensive makeup. And if she cannot afford those things, she will come and blame you, the man, for not working hard enough for her to be able to achieve to afford those things. You get. And then also the issue of cautious romantic choices. They are very choosy with with the person they want to fall in love with. If she loves you completely. But again, if she finds a reason not to love you, and this is something that happens a lot in relationships, you'll always find a reason not to love a person. For her, she will linger so much on the reason why she can't love you, on the reason why she feels like you are not a good decision. And this is normally fueled by her comparisons or the options that are around her. So when you date such a lady, also check, be foolish enough to just walk with her even in different spaces, especially in the spaces where there are people that she knows. And especially study the men that she interacts with, especially the men who seem to be doing better than you, and see her behavior around her. You find that most of the time, she's submissive to such men, or the way she receives them, it will be more of in a loving, humble way compared to the way she receives you. Why? Because she sees them she sees them through the lens of achievement. Like, these people have achieved more than my husband, so you'll never have authority in her life. And anytime she might, as they normally say in Red Pill, that she already knows the next options. For such kind of a woman who comes from a domineering from a home with a domineering father, her options are always open and her options are always around. It's only a matter of time before you are displaced by an overachieving man. So how do you navigate such relationships? These are the practical strategies that I came up with. Number one, patience is key. If you truly love her and you have chosen to wanting to stay with her, give her space and avoid taking her tests personally. Yeah, because such a woman will constantly test you. She will constantly test you, especially using sarcasm. She will constantly test you. Number two, consistency matters. For your part as a man, if you love that woman and you wanna stay with her, you'll have to work on building trust and winning her over. Because such a woman will require you to work hard to earn her trust. She may delay committing finances to the family because you've not demonstrated the leadership she desires. Notice the leadership she desires. So you have to change yourself and become the leader that she wants. So the flip side is that you might lose yourself trying to impress her. Number three is to establish healthy boundaries. You have to develop healthy boundaries as a man. Communicate your expectations openly and clearly. If she breaks the rules, let her face the consequences. Like, for instance, um, if she keeps on doing that which you have told her not to do, or breaking the boundaries of the family, like, for instance, we cannot entertain relationships of the opposite sex in the relationship, and she keeps on pushing those boundaries. Remember, that is also part of testing you. You need to let her know the consequences, or even just implement the consequences right away, like walk out of the relationship, so that she knows this man means what he says. But if you choose to stay in there even after she's broken the rules, trust you me, respect goes out that very same day. So you don't want to mess around with such a woman. Number four, she will need emotional support without coddling. Offer emotional support without coddling. This means you need to show steady support, like you are there for her. You mean well for her. Basically, such a woman is so needy, and you'll hear most of the time such ladies will tend to tell you that you're not emotionally available. You're not there emotionally. You're not the anything is just emotionally. But for us men, we don't operate with by emotions. These are just things that maybe the father was just hugging her all the time, calling her sweet words, pampering her, and all that. That is what she could be expecting. But because you're not offering it that way, you'll always be told that you're not emotionally available. Number five, you need to lead with respect and not control. Such a woman will keep on telling you that I don't like your leadership. especially when you put rules and all that. You're being controlling, you're manipulative. When you set up a path and direction with regards to finances, she will tell you that, oh, you're too controlling, you want to control my money. And then she will begin to tell you, I don't trust you with money, I don't trust you with my resources, you need to win my trust and all that. And she'll always be on the side of offense, like she's the one who is offended all the time. And she feels like you're the one who needs to work hard to win her trust. So it's a lot of work dealing with such a woman. Me, my advice would be, if you notice these things while you're dating, please don't go ahead with marriage, because it will be an uphill task. Imagine having such a lady who walks out of the marriage to go and pursue her goals because she felt like you're the hindrance to her life, and then later on she decides to come back in. She will likely pull out the same stunt when she wants to do something else, simply because she has known the kind of person you are. And for her to achieve her goals, she will manipulate you, achieve it, then walk away, then come and manipulate you again, achieve it, then walk away. So the first time you part ways, don't even think about a second chance. So that lady will require you to compliment her. She will require you to guide her frequently, and she will require you to respect her. But let me tell you, they don't follow rules. Even if you guide her, because you'll need to explain yourself most of the time, she will always try to find loopholes, or rebellious ways of not doing it. So, what are some of the red flags that such women present? Number one is excessive control and manipulation. A woman who comes from an authoritative, or from an authoritative fathered home, or a domineering, or from a home with a domineering father, they tend to be very controlling and manipulative. They tend to use emotions a lot to try and control you, or use careless words to try and displace you from your core, like challenging your leadership and telling you, you don't look like a man who has a vision, you don't look like a man who is going anywhere, or you've never told us where we are going as a family. But in real sense, you've communicated the vision. It's only that because the vision does not agree with her, she will find a reason to question and put holes and poke holes in your style of leadership. And this will make you doubt yourself. And they like that, because when you doubt yourself, then they have an opportunity to manipulate you by bringing you into their frame. Then you will dance to their music. Number two red flag to watch out is the constant comparison to male figures from our past. Yes, you'll be compared. Number three is the refusal to communicate or compromise. That's the third red flag. And I can tell you, such a woman tends to hoard information and refuses to compromise. No, and she will only compromise when it's according to her standards, and she will only communicate when she feels like. And when she communicates, she's not communicating to repair the relationship, but to bash you and to cut you with her words. So you realize all of a sudden she's venting, and she will use your weak points to try and bring you down. So with such a woman, another advice that I will advise you is that don't be vulnerable with her. Don't open up your heart to her. Don't have a heart to heart conversation with her, because whatever you say will be taken and used against you in the court of law. Mark my words. So, dating a woman from a dominant father home can be amazing as they are strong, independent, and ambitious, but it also requires emotional intelligence, patience, and self awareness. So, and you need to know the difference between a challenge and a red flag. She can pose a challenge as well for you to step up and become somebody better. But again, if you're not keen enough, that could be a red flag by itself, telling you that you are not good enough to lead me. It's a very thin line. It requires a smart man to know this, because if you cannot pick up on the red flag or pick up on the challenge, you'll end up becoming a submissive man, and they like very submissive men. They like controlling such men. So yeah, in closing, um, I just say this: dating isn't just about attraction, it's about understanding backgrounds, personalities, and patterns. Women from dominant father homes bring a unique set of challenges, but also incredible strengths. So, the approach that you take with awareness, patience, and respect um, will determine how that partnership will end up. Will determine the kind of quality that partnership will be. So if you've dated a woman like this, share your experience in the comment section. Let's discuss what worked and what didn't, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button, and so that we can have a community where we can share real life lessons that you'll never learn in school. So enjoy your time. And as a man, love with your mind and not with your heart. Have a good day.